Alright, this is lesson 2 of Forte's Academy of Music. In this lesson, we're going to be learning about the anatomy of an ABC file. An ABC file, as I pull up the music here, is basically containing all the information inside the file that will play a song in game. And so the best way to go ahead and learn about an ABC file is actually look to see what's on the inside. So let's go ahead and pick a song here, Ave Maria song. To open up a ABC file, you're going to want to right click it. I'm going to wait for it to respond a moment here. You're going to want to open with, and if it's not set to default, not default but showing, you're going to want to hit choose default program. Now, you don't want it to change what is currently shown as the primary program in which you would be opening it up with. If you have Maestro downloaded, it's automatically going to be defaulting to the ABC player that's going to be open if you double clicked it. But I actually have defaulted as a Maestro. But when you are doing it in this regards, you want to uncheck where it says use this for all files, because we're going to be selecting it as a notepad. If it doesn't show up in this list here, you just hit more options and you can scroll down and see other items here in which you can select. Or just, basically you want to look for notepad. So you want to click notepad. And it's going to open up the text file. Pop it open, there it is. So this is what an ABC file looks like. Now, this section up here, all this is information that Maestro, when you create a ABC file from MIDI, will automatically have this information here. So this isn't typically what's inside of an ABC file. What's in the ABC file is starting it here at the X, going down to this next section. These up here are what's called a header. This is basically giving you all the default basic information. For instance, X is always denoting the part number. And the number is a symbol, basically symbolizing what instrument is being used. Now, there is a standard numbering system to determine, okay, what instrument is assigned what number. For instance, every drum is either given a number between 1 to 10. Every Lute of Ages, especially when the new Lute of Ages came out, every Lute of Ages is between 11 to 20. So if you notice here, 11 is showing for Lute of Ages, in which this is what the song is being played in. And so depending on what instrument is for that particular song, it might be different. And there is on the website, there is the full numbering system that will show you exactly what instrument is for what particular numbering system. And if you actually go into lessons and you actually scroll down, in which this is the text version of actually what this lesson that I'm putting on right now is. You can actually go into click or standard numbering system, and here is the list of the basic standard numbering system. It's actually, I have to fix this, but it's actually 1 through 10 is drums, 11 through 20 is Lute of Ages, 21 through 30 is basic harp, 31 through 40 is the theorbo, 41 through 50 is bagpipes, 51 through 60 are the flutes, 61 through 80 is horns, 61 through 70 is horns, 71 through 80 is clarinet, 81 through 90 is the cowbell / more bells. I actually use more bells in replace here at the 101 through 110. 91 through 90 is the pig horn. 111 through 119 is basic lute, and 121 through 30 is the Misty Mountain harp. Now, if you notice, because there are two different types of harps, that whenever Lord of the Rings adds new instruments, this numbering system can be updated. So, for instance, basic harp is 21. All they did is add a 1 to the beginning of the 21 to make it a 121. So say, for instance, they did come out with a different theorbo, for instance. You can change the numbering system to it. If Maestro is update to it, or whenever you're creating the actual ABC file, it can be changed to like 131. So it's whatever whatever standard is changed at that time. Now let's go back and take a look at our music file. Now the T, which is actually the part in which when you initiate the song in game, this part is what is shown in your chat when you start playing the song. It is composed of the title of the song, the instrument in which is used, and the duration of the song. Now the Z is always reserved for the person who transcribed the song. Now, for whatever reason, this is not in here, because when I created this ABC file, I didn't have a standard composer for the song, but typically C:, let me fix this here. C: filled is always for the composer of the song, whoever created the song. There's always a controversy about the original creator of Ave Maria. Now Z is always for the transcriber, the person who created this file, in which was me. Now the M is the measure of the song. Q is always going to be the tempo, and you can always adjust it. If you adjust the number higher, the song would go slower or faster. If you lower the number, it will go slower. K is always going to be the key in which the song is made. And most MIDIs are actually a lot of them are able to be pulled from I would say sheet music, in which they have been electronically formatted, and then there are those conversion programs out there, like using the program MuseScore. You can actually get digital versions of spreadsheets, or create digital versions of spreadsheets, convert them to MIDI files, and then add them to and then create actual ABC files from them. Now all this goobly-gook, crazy-looking notation down here, this, my fellows, is the actual music. Now, again, it's for the most part, depending on your understanding of music, you might not understand what this is. Like right here, this actually, for instance, again, I'm not exactly sure about the notation. This could be like an F sharp, or yeah, I'm not exactly sure the actual notation. I would have to actually research that and find out what the notation is. But this is actually the music. This is actually because the in-game music was always originally intended to be played by pressing buttons on your computer keyboard, and you holding Shift might create a different range of different notes. Well, what multiple programs out there like Maestro, which a lot of people do, is that they've taken that information in which Turbine has provided about the music, and what this symbol represents this note, blah blah blah, and it converts known MIDIs, which also has the information as to what the actual notes are, and converts it to a format of the music in which Lord of the Rings can understand. And that's what you're seeing here. Now, you're seeing this song as a single player song, because if you were to scroll down, it will show all the music of that particular song. Now, what gets tricky is now looking at a file that has multiple parts. So I'm going to go and close out of this. We're going to go ahead and find, I'm not going to save it because I don't want to save it as a text file. Don't save. And we're going to go back, and I'm going to find a song that has multiple parts. And like we talked about, part and number are coincide together, and it lets you know what instrument is used for that song. So say, for instance, let's pick a 4-part Star Wars medley. You're going to right-click it again. We're going to open with Notepad. And now you see a multiple part song. Now, the top part shows, like say, the first part here is showing 11, which is a lute. Now this is before, it still says lute, not lute of ages here. This is before the conversion between when we got the new two instruments, the I think the lute of ages and the Misty Mountain harp. This, the original basic lute used to be 11. Now it's a different number range, but they're interchangeable. You can use a lute of ages, intermixed with a lute. So in this regard, there's no issue. So this section right here is all the music and everything for the first instrument. Now, if you scroll down, we will see the second instrument, which is 51, part number 51, and it's a flute. If we scroll down to the third section, we're going to see that the third one is a clarinet 1. Sometimes you can label it clarinet 1 if you're using more than one, or you can just do it clarinet. It's your choice. But the part number is 71. Now, we're going to scroll down to the third one, in which you could probably assume there's the clarinet. And that makes it, if there's an additional clarinet, the next one would be called 72. Same thing with any other instrument that there's more than one. It's using the 1 first, using the 2 second, blah blah blah. And so you have all these one file that contains all the music for for multiple different parts. Now you might be wondering, well, how do you, once you have this music and once you have an understanding of what part or what instrument and what part number is being used for this particular instrument, how do you go ahead and play this music in game? Well, folks, that will be lesson 3. So stay tuned. We are learning how to play solo music as well as music as a band in game. This is Forte Maestro, and I want to thank you very much for joining me for lesson 2. Good day.